I am SP Gupta and today I am going to take lecture on topic vapor absorption system. If we talk about the vapor absorption system, in case of vapor absorption system, we are using the two fluid or the system are used the two fluid. First one is said to be the absorbent and second one is said to be the refrigerant. Whereas in case of the vapor compression system, the system use only one fluid, that is refrigerant, for the completion of cycle. Okay. Therefore, before start the vapor absorption system, first we should know what should be the desirable property of that two fluid, and that is refrigerant and absorbent. Therefore, the desirable property of solvent that will be absorbent is what? The solvent should have great affinity to absorb the refrigerant. That is very important property. That means the refrigerant which is coming toward the absorbent or solvent, the solvent should have ability to absorb that refrigerant. Okay. Number second, the surface tension of the solvent should be low so that the absorption of refrigerant can take place easily. Next is the solvent should be in the liquid state throughout its working cycle. Next is the specific heat and viscosity of that solvent should be low. Therefore, the better heat transfer takes place and minimum pump work required. Once the specific heat of solvent is low, in that case the heat transfer will be better, and once the viscosity of the fluid or the viscosity of solvent is low, in that case the pump work required to run the pump will also be low. Clear? Next is the desirable property of refrigerant. What should be the desirable property of refrigerant? Number one, the refrigerant should have high solubility at low temperature and low solubility at high temperature. I am repeating again, that is very important property for the refrigerant. The refrigerant should have high solubility at low temperature and low solubility at high temperature. Okay. Next one is the refrigerant should be stable at all temperature. The refrigerant should be chemically stable. The other properties are the refrigerant should have less explosive property. The refrigerant should have low toxicity. The refrigerant should have low reaction with the metal part or minimum reaction with the metal part. The latent heat of vaporization for the refrigerant should be high so that the refrigeration effect produced per kg of refrigerant should be high. Okay, that means if the latent heat of vaporization is high, in that case the refrigeration effect produced by the 1 kg of refrigerant will also be high. And the next one is the boiling point, sorry, the freezing point of refrigerant should be as minimum as possible. Okay, this is the vapor compression system. This is not the part of vapor absorption system, but to understand the vapor absorption system, we should know the vapor compression system. In vapor compression system, we are using the four part. First one is the compressor, second one is the condenser, third one is expansion valve, and fourth one is what? Evaporator. But in case of vapor absorption system, that compressor which is used in the vapor compression system is basically replaced by the addition of three parts. First one is said to be the absorber, second one is said to be the solution pump, and third one is said to be the generator. Okay, then this one is the vapor absorption system. If we talk about the vapor absorption system, basically vapor absorption system use the low grade form of the energy, that is the heat energy, for the production of cooling effect. Therefore, it is less expensive. But if we talk about the vapor compression cycle, in case of the vapor compression cycle, the high grade energy is used for the production of refrigeration effect or cooling effect, and that is said to be the compressor work energy. Clear? If we talk about the vapor absorption system, the low grade form of energy, that is the heat energy, that heat energy can be used from the waste heat, that is the sun, the heat which is coming from the sun, the heat which is coming from the moles, the heat which is coming from the engines or exhaust of the engine. We can utilize that waste heat, which is said to be the low grade form of energy, for the production of refrigeration effect. Okay, for the production of refrigeration effect or cooling effect. If you talk about the vapor compression system, sorry, vapor absorption system, this three part we all know: evaporator, condenser, and expansion valve. We all know. Okay, we all know the condenser is connected with the expansion valve. We have seen in the vapor compression system, and the difference between vapor compression system and vapor absorption system is what? The compressor which is used in the vapor compression system is basically replaced by the three part, that is said to be the absorber, solution pump, and generator in case of the vapor absorption system, and the rest part is remain same. Therefore, we all know the condenser is connected with the expansion valve, and expansion valve is basically connected with the evaporator. In between condenser and evaporator, there will be the compressor for the vapor compression system. But in case of the vapor absorption system, that compressor is replaced by the three part, and that three part is said to be the absorber, solution pump, and the generator. That will be the first one is the absorber, second one is what? Solution pump, and third one is what? Generator. The evaporator is basically connected with the absorber. Absorber is connected with the pump. Basically, then pump is connected with the generator, and the work of pump is what? It increase the pressure of the solution which is coming from the absorber from evaporator pressure to the condenser pressure. Okay, clear? I am repeating again. This is the vapor absorption system, and I explained in the first slide that in that case we are using the two fluids. One is the absorbent, which is in the absorber, and second one is the refrigerant, which is coming from the evaporator. Once the refrigerant is coming from the evaporator, it goes to the absorber, where that vapor refrigerant is absorbed by the absorbent, and by this there will be the solution, and that solution is said to be the rich solution. That rich solution goes to the pump. Pump increase the pressure of evaporator pressure to the condenser pressure. We all know the evaporator pressure and absorber pressure both are equal, and that will be the lower pressure, and that is said to be the evaporator pressure. The generator pressure and the condenser pressure is also same, and that is said to be the higher pressure. Clear? So what is the function of pump? The function of pump is what? It increase the pressure of solution which is coming out from the absorber from evaporator pressure to the condenser pressure or generator pressure, because generator pressure and condenser pressure are same. Once that solution, that is the rich solution, is entered into the generator, here the low grade form of energy are required, and that energy is said to be the heat. Due to absorption of heat by the solution, rich solution, which is entered into the generator, the refrigerant have the low boiling point as compared to the absorbent. Therefore, first refrigerant is evaporated from the rich solution and leave there in the generator, that is the weak solution. Why it is weak solution? Because the maximum part of refrigerant is extract from the solution. That vapor form of refrigerant will goes to the condenser. Okay, clear? And that here the lean or weak solution of refrigerant is left here, and which is goes to the absorber. Okay, I am repeating again. The rest weak solution from the generator goes to the absorber. We all know this generator pressure and condenser pressure is the high pressure, and absorber pressure and evaporator pressure are the low pressure. Okay, that means Pg is the generator pressure, the Pg is equal to Pc, that is the generator pressure is equal to condenser pressure, and that is said to be the high pressure. And Pa tends to absorber pressure, it is not the atmospheric pressure. Remember it, here Pa is the absorber pressure and is equal to Pe evaporator pressure, and that will be the low pressure. We all know condenser pressure is the high pressure and evaporator pressure is the low pressure. Clear? Therefore, once we have to flow the fluid from high pressure to low pressure, then what we have to do? We have to use a device, and that is said to be the pressure reducer. Okay, the work of that pressure reducer is what? It decrease the pressure of weak solution from generator pressure to the absorber pressure. Okay, and that system, that whole system is basically replace the compressor which is used in the vapor compression system. I am repeating again, that whole system, this is replace the compressor which is used in the vapor compression system. That means if in the vapor compression system the compressor is replaced by that system, then that system is converted into the vapor absorption system. I am repeating again, in vapor compression system, if the compressor of that system is replaced by this part, then that vapor compression system is converted into the vapor absorption system. Clear? Next one is simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system. Here NH3H2O. NH3H2O means NH3 used as a refrigerant and H2O used as a absorbent. I am repeating again. In case of simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system, the NH3 used as a refrigerant and H2O used as a absorbent. The refrigerant has low boiling point as compared to the absorbent. That means the NH3 has the low boiling point as compared to H2O. Okay, let us move. We all know this is the evaporator, this is the condenser, this is the expansion device. Okay, we all know condenser is connected with the expansion valve is connected with the evaporator, and in between evaporator and condenser there will be the compressor in case of the vapor compression system, we know, and that compressor is basically replaced by the 3-part. Once that compressor is replaced by that 3-part, then that vapor compression system is converted into the vapor absorption system. That means that 3-part is basically said to be the absorber, pump and generator. Okay, first we should know what is the function of absorber, what is the function of pump and what is the function of generator. Basically absorber is used to absorb the vapor refrigerant and convert it into the solution form. Okay, the function of pump is what? The pump is basically used to increase the solution pressure from low pressure to high pressure, that will be from absorber pressure or evaporator pressure to generator pressure or condenser pressure. And what is the function of generator? Generator is basically used to separate the refrigerant and absorbent from the solution. Okay, I am repeating again. The generator is basically used to separate the refrigerant and absorbent from the solution. Clear? We all know evaporator is connected with the absorber. From at the outlet of the evaporator, we all know the state of refrigerant will be what? Vapor state. Once that vapor refrigerant will enter into the absorbent, enter into absorber, in the absorber there will be the absorbent and that will be the H2O. That means in the absorber there will be the what? Absorbent and that will be the H2O in the liquid form. Okay, that H2O absorb the vapor NH3. Why it is NH3? Why it is? Because here the refrigerant is NH3. The vapor form of NH3 is absorbed by the absorbent, that is H2O, and after that absorption there will be the heat transfer takes place, and due to this there will be the formation of solution, and that is said to be the rich solution of NH3. Okay, why it is rich solution? Because the NH3 is mixed with the solvent, and that will be the H2O. The rich solution of NH3 will enter into the pump, okay, and then that pump increase the pressure of that rich solution of NH3 from evaporator or absorber pressure to condenser or generator pressure. That means the refrigerant which is the solution which is enter into the generator, that will be the rich solution of NH3. Okay, once that rich solution is entered into the generator required the low grade form of energy, that is the heat energy. By the absorption of heat, the NH3 part is vaporized. Why it is? Because the NH3 has the low boiling point, therefore the NH3 is vaporized from the solution, and due to this the NH3 is separate from the solution and goes to the condenser. And here in the generator there will be the only the weak solution of NH3. Why it is weak solution? Because the major part of NH3 is vaporized by the heat addition process, and the vaporized form of NH3 is goes to the condenser. Clear? Goes to the condenser. That means after the vaporization in this generator there will be the weak solution of NH3. That weak solution of NH3 will go to the absorber through the pressure reducing valve. We all know why we are using the pressure reducing valve, because generator is at a high pressure and absorber is at a low pressure. Therefore, in between the line of generator and absorber, we have to use the pressure reducer. Clear? That NH3 vapor which is coming out from the generator by the heat addition process will enter into the condenser. Here by the heat rejection process the vapor NH3 will converted into the liquid NH3. Okay, and here the weak solution of NH3, because NH3 vapor is extract from the rich solution of NH3. Therefore, in this generator there will be the weak solution, and that weak solution of NH3 will goes to the pressure reducing valve and to the absorber. Once NH3 vapor goes to the condenser, that NH3 vapor is converted into the liquid NH3. That liquid NH3 goes to the throttling valve, expansion valve, where isenthalpic process takes place, and due to this the some part of liquid is converted into the vapor form, and during the process of isenthalpic expansion the temperature as well as pressure of refrigerant will decreases. Okay, therefore the liquid refrigerant, because some part of molecules, that will be the molecules are vaporized during the process of what? Isenthalpic expansion, and that is also said to be the flash formation. The partial conversion of liquid refrigerant into vapor refrigerant is basically said to be the flash formation, and it will happen during the process of isenthalpic expansion. That liquid refrigerant NH3 will enter into the evaporator. Here, that liquid refrigerant is absorb the heat from the space where we have to produce the cooling effect, and due to absorption of that heat, that NH3 liquid will convert into the NH3 vapor, and that NH3 vapor will absorb by the absorbent, that will be H2O in the absorber, and the process is repeated. Clear? Any doubt? That will be the rich solution. Here rich solution is coming out from the absorber, goes to the generator. Next one is actual NH3H2O vapor absorption system. In actual, if we talk about the actual NH3H2O vapor absorption system, basically due to improve the performance of simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system, we have to add 3 parts. That is said to be the first one is said to be the analyzer, second one is said to be the rectifier, and third one is said to be the heat exchanger. Clear? Therefore, in actual, if we talk about the actual NH3H2O vapor absorption system, this is the modified form of simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system, and this will be the for the improve the performance of simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system, and that will be happen by the help of the addition of 3 parts in this simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system, and that 3 parts is said to be the analyzer, rectifier, and third one is 2 heat exchanger. Okay, let us see the diagram for the actual NH3H2O vapor absorption system. We all know this will be the part which is used in the simple NH3H2O vapor absorption system, that will condenser, expansion valve, evaporator, absorber, pump, and generator. Okay, we all know, and that will be the liquid receiver. That will be the liquid receiver which receive the liquid which is coming from the condenser, so that the continuous flow process can be happen. Okay, that will be the receiver which receive the condensed liquid from the condenser. Okay, clear? We all know the condenser is connected with the expansion valve. Expansion valve is connected with the evaporator. Evaporator is connected with the absorber, and absorber is connected with the pump. Pump is connected with the generator. Generator connected with the condenser, and generator is also connected with the absorber. From this generator, the refrigerant goes to the condenser, and from this generator, the rich solution of NH3 will goes to the absorber. Then that will be the connected with the absorber. That means from here, the weak solution of NH3 will goes to the absorber, and that will be the vapor form of NH3 will goes to the condenser by the heat addition process, because the function of generator is to separate the NH3 and H2O from the solution, and due to heat addition process, the NH3 vapor is separate from the solution. Clear? Okay, in that case we are using, that will be the simple form. What is the modification? Modification is what? We are adding the 3 another part, so that the performance of simple vapor absorption system can improve. Okay, and the first part is what? that is said to be the analyzer. What is the function of analyzer? Basically, analyzer is used to remove the water vapor water vapor which is coming out from the generator with the NH3 vapor. Once we are give the heat to the generator, it is not sure that the 100% is only coming out from the generator to the condenser is NH3 vapor. It can be the mixture of NH3 and some part of H2O vapor. And once that H2O vapor goes to the condenser, in condenser that H2O vapor is converted into the liquid, and once that H2O liquid goes to the expansion valve, due to subcooling process, H2O liquid is converted into the ice solid part, and it may be possible it choke the expansion valve, it block the passage of expansion valve. Therefore, for the continuous operation, it is very necessary that the NH3 vapor is only goes to the condenser, and for this purpose we are using the analyzer, and we are also use for that purpose only rectifier. The function of analyzer is what? Once some part of water vapor is coming out from the generator with the NH3H2O, in that case analyzer condense that separate that water vapor from the NH3 vapor and send it to the generator. Okay, you can see here. Clear? Next one is rectifier. Rectifier is also used for the removal of water vapor present in the NH3 vapor. That means if we talk about the function of rectifier, the rectifier is basically used to trace the last particle of water vapor from the NH3 vapor, and that water vapor goes to the analyzer and then generator. Okay, the function of rectifier and the function of analyzer is what? It is basically used to remove the water vapor from the NH3 vapor which goes to the condenser from the generator. Okay, clear? The next part, and therefore that rectifier is the only part which is 100% ensure that there will be the only NH3 vapor will enter into the condenser. That is ensured by the rectifier. Okay. Next is what? In the absorber, there will be the H2O, and we know if the temperature of that absorber is low, in that case the solubility with the refrigerant will be high. Okay, why? Okay, therefore our objective is what? We have to decrease the temperature of weak solution of NH3 which is coming out from the generator and goes to the absorber. First one. Second one is what? The rich solution which goes to the generator from the pump. For the separation of NH3 and H2O, we have to add the heat. Therefore, if we increase the temperature of that rich solution which is coming out from the pump and goes to the generator, in that case less heat input have to give the generator, and in that case the cost of heat will be decreases. For this purpose we are using the aqua heat exchanger. Aqua heat exchanger means the two fluid are in the, because in the heat exchanger there will be the two fluid. Without by single fluid we cannot perform the heat exchanging process. For heat exchanger there should be the two fluid, and aqua heat exchanger means that two fluids which goes into heat exchanger are in the liquid state. Okay, that will be the heat exchanger. Therefore this rich solution which goes from pump to the generator is treated as a hot fluid, sorry, cold fluid. It treated as a cold fluid. Okay, and the weak solution of NH3 which is coming out from generator and goes to the absorber through the pressure reducer is treated as a what? Hot fluid. I am repeating again. The rich solution which is coming out from the pump and goes to the generator is basically treated as a cold fluid, and the weak solution which is coming out from the generator and goes to the absorber through the pressure reducer is basically treated as a hot fluid. We all know the heat is flow from hot fluid to the cold fluid. Therefore the hot fluid lost the heat, and due to this the weak solution which goes to the absorber, the temperature of that weak solution is decreases. Okay, and the cold fluid which goes to the generator from the pump which absorb the heat from the hot fluid, and due to this the temperature of that rich solution of NH3 which goes to the generator is increases, and due to the increase that the temperature of that rich solution we have to give less amount of heat input. Okay, that two objective is fulfilled by the addition of aqua heat exchanger. Okay, next one is, if we have to increase the refrigeration effect or cooling effect, then what we have to do? We have to subcool the refrigerant which is coming out from the condenser. And for subcooling process, what we have to do? We have to use the liquid vapor heat exchanger. Okay, here we are using the liquid vapor heat exchanger. Okay, that vapor, that is the refrigerant which is coming out from the evaporator and goes to the absorber through that heat exchanger, is treated as a cold fluid, and that is in the state. Okay, and the refrigerant, liquid refrigerant which is coming from the liquid receiver and goes to the expansion valve is basically treated as a hot fluid, and that is in the liquid state. Due to this, that liquid refrigerant lost their heat, and due to this the temperature of that liquid refrigerant which is coming from the liquid receiver is decreases, and due to this the subcooling process has happened. Due to the subcooling process, the refrigeration effect is produced by the evaporator will be increases. Okay, in case of the NH3H2O, NH3 used as a refrigerant and H2O used as a absorbent. Okay, clear?